In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the Vaporesso Armor S. Welcome back to Vape. My name's Andrew, and yes, we are looking at the rugged, tough, big beast, which is the Vaporesso Armor S just here, which is a big old sub-ohm device, which is gonna, last quite a while with how it looks just here. So going down, we can see just how big this device is. It is a very big device just here. It's either a 21700 or 18650 external battery, so you will be required to purchase a battery separately with this device. Just going over the sort of overview here, we've got two buttons just there. We've got a charge port, we've got a lock. When slid up, then that's just a lock. Slide it down, it's now a fire button. And we've got a sort of button on the back, which is kind of disguised, and if you press that, that comes out like so. We'll go over the battery a bit later on, but that is how to open the compartment just there. Then we have a tank on the top, and it is a traditional 510 threaded tank just here. So we've got our 510 thread on the device, so you could just put any old tank on this if you wanted to. If it's got 510, then you can stick it on there. But if not, you get this one here. Now, with this one, you've got airflow on the base. You've also got a quick draw, quick fire top fill. So I'll just slide that open and show you again. There you go. So you just top fill from the top just there. You've got a removable 810 drip tip. So if you've got a spare or whatever, you can pop that in there. And getting to the coil is just unscrewing this. And I will show you this in a close-up. So here we have the coil just here, and it is just a pull out. So just get your nail in there and pop it out like so. Now it's a big old coil because it's a sub-ohm coil that we're looking at just here. Now this is a 0.2, but I'm actually going to use the other one, which is inside the box, and this is a 0.4. So I'm just going to open this up. And there's our coil just here. Now you've seen on the base of the coils just here, they're just literally circular. And on the base of the tank just here is literally just a circle. So there's no worry about how you put this in. You just stuff it in there and give it a push, right? So you've got to make sure it's pushed in there so that the O-ring makes a good old seal with the chimney of the tank just there, so to make sure it doesn't leak essentially. But pulling it out again, like so, that's how you remove and replace the coil. When you get a new coil, how you want to prime this, because like I mentioned, this is a sub-ohm coil. It's kind of a given since it's so large and how big these wicking holes are. But you can see inside there's mesh. Some coils have, a wound coil there, but this one's mesh, packed tightly with cotton. That cotton obviously is dry. We need to get it primed, ready to wick the liquid. So what we need to do is get our e-liquid, and first of all, you've got to make sure you've got the right e-liquid, and you want to be looking at short fill bottles like this. If you see a little 10 mil, that's going to be wrong. Don't use that. Use a short fill just here and make sure it's a 70-30 e-liquid. Even if you do get a 10 mil that is sub-ohm, make sure it's a 70-30 VG, so 70 VG, 30 PG. What you want to do is get your e-liquid and put a drop of e-liquid on each of these windows, and then go back round and do it again, go back round and do it again. So put 3 drops on each of these wicking windows just there, and none down the center. Some people recommend that, we don't, just because you're going to oversaturate that coil. You can over prime it and it will just be slurpy and horrible. You don't want that, and it can even lead to leaking issues. So just 3 drops on either side. Then you want to press fit properly into the base there, screw this one up, get your quick draw little fill there, pop your nozzle in there, fill it all the way up to the top, look through the little windows just there, fill it up to the top, and give it a good 10 minutes to saturate. At least 5, but I'd say 10, because it's a brand new coil. We've just primed it like so, as I've shown you, and you want to make sure that that cotton is fully saturated, because if you just do the dabs, like I said, pop it in and vape it, you're just going to burn it out. So you don't want that. So instead, fill it up, give it 10 minutes, and let it saturate fully, and that's going to give you a good long life out of this coil. The other thing is I'd always recommend keeping it about half full, just so that it doesn't dry out and give you dry burns and prematurely burn out that coil. Okay, so now we are waiting for that coil to saturate. Let's take a look at the device. So I've got our device just here with a 21700 battery, because I'm going to show you how to insert that now. So we're going to open up this. If you're using an 18650, then go ahead and slide it in. Make sure that you put the positive first. I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be perfectly honest, but I would recommend positive first and then sliding it positive first in like so, because it's easier that way. And also if it does get like stuck, whatever, you can take your battery out and put your finger in and slide it out like so. It's much easier this way. But we won't be using the converter. We'll be going straight up with a 21700. So positives that way, negatives that way. We're going to slide it in positive first, like so, and it does say negative on the door there, and I'm just going to click it shut like so, and it's going to turn itself on for me. Now, once it's in down mode, it's 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off, but I can lock it by sliding this up, and then that's locked, but you can still adjust the buttons. So it's just the fire button that is locked, right? So if it's in your pocket or something, it's not going to be pressing fire because it just locks it out physically. Sliding it down, it now has the fire button. Obviously we don't have a tank connected, so it's saying, hang on, where's the atomizer? However, if you want to lock the power outage, so the power outage or the power setting, then you can do so by pressing both of these adjustment buttons for a couple of seconds, and then it will lock, and then that's it, locked. So once you've found your setting, I'd highly recommend locking that, and then you can still vape on it, but this won't change. So pressing it again and holding it will lock it out like so. Now on the screen just here, very bright, very easy to read. We've got our wattage there, so 6 watts. We won't be vaping at that. We're on eco mode, we've got puff counter, ohms, and then battery on the bottom with that big old battery bar just there as well. Now this is 100 watts, but it doesn't round robin. So if you go to 5, you're right at the bottom. You're gonna have to press and hold, and it will go all the way up to 100. Right, so 100 is max. Now obviously with the 0.4 coil we'll be using, we won't be using 100 watts, but you can go into the menu. So once this is slid down, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and that will get you into the menu like so. And then you've got a bunch of options here. So on the top, you've got settings. I'm gonna go to settings just there, and then I'm just gonna read them off. So you've got vape modes, you've got smart mode, you've got temperature control lock and puff counter themes, display default, so that's going to put the whole device back to default, and then you've got the version, so that's just the firmware version in there as well. So there's a lot of stuff. So go into modes. We've got what I like to call foot mode, which is FT mode. Then we've got pulse, eco, temperature control stainless steel, temperature control nickel, temperature control titanium there as well. So you've got a bunch of different temp control modes. If anyone still uses those these days, that's very 2015. And then what I'd recommend is probably just going on eco or foot mode. If you want to, do that, then you can do. So I'm going to click on eco. Now I'm going to go back in the menu, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go up to settings like so, and then I'm going to go to smart mode, which I would recommend everyone goes to, and turn it on. And that is then enabled smart mode, and then I'm just going to go out and go to exit like so. And now it's actually gone with a little S next to there, but you don't have to go into the menu to do that. I think it's up and the power button together for a second, or is it minus? Let me just see, it is minus. So pressing down and the fire button, do you see the little S has gone? If I press and hold, little S has come back. So you can enable smart mode just by doing that. And that's going to read the coil once you've screwed it on and go, actually, these are the parameters that we think you should use, and just stick to that. So it makes it very easy. You don't need to necessarily know all of these settings. If you don't know what temperature control is, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just go onto smart mode and use it this way. Now, and that's pretty much the device. We will screw on the tank in a second as well, but there's not really anything else to go by here. Charging wise, you can charge it via the device. However, being a big 18650 or 21700 battery, you might want to purchase a battery charging bay and maybe have a couple of batteries, so that once the battery life's depleted, instead of plugging it in and sitting for ages waiting, you can just open the door, swap it out for a new one. There you go. Just bear in mind, if you are using separate batteries, check the wraps every week or so, make sure there's no nicks in them, because that will then expose the rest of the battery and make the whole thing a negative, and you don't want it shorting out, because that can be dangerous. So take it to your local vape shop, get it re-wrapped, or buy a new battery. And also, if you're carrying around spares, please put them in a silicone portable bay thing or a plastic case. to make sure that no metal can contact the top and the bottom, because that will make it vent, and you don't want that happening, right? So make sure you're safe with your external batteries. So I've just put this at 37 watts randomly. I'm going to get our tank just here and screw it on and see if smart mode wants to be smart. Yep, straight away, boom, there we go. It's gone 55 watts. That's what you want for this coil. And that is the 0.4 coil. It's reading at 0.39, so that's good enough. And there we have it. We've pretty much learned everything you need to know about this device. Lastly, I don't know if I showed it, but there is a lock on the airflow, so it will only go so far before you need to come back. It doesn't just spin around like indefinitely, so you can choose your airflow just by going like this. But there we go, that is the Vaporesso Armor S. So there we have it. Hopefully you've learned something today about the Vaporesso Armor S. My name's Andrew, this is Vampire Vape. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.